Run it up, then run it back.
Happiest of Wednesdays. This is Run It Back. Look at us, little coordination. Got to coordinate. We did it. We really did it, you guys. We're getting back on track.
You took off your sweater?
Yes, it has a bad word on it. Lou Will, Chandler P, Michelle B. We're all here to talk some hoops.
Nicknames today.
I know. We're just going to go with it. I don't even know. I'm blending into the background. We had high hopes for what Jimmy Butler's numbers were going to look like last night, and we are stupid. In hindsight, of course. The Warriors, Heat, no Steph, and it was 112-86 destroying of the Warriors by Miami. Jimmy finished with 11. He was 5 of 12. Bam Adebayo with 27 and 8. Tyler Hero had 20 points. And really, we also wanted to kind of tune in and see what the reception would be like for Jimmy Butler on his return. And there was a mix. There was some cheering. There was definitely some booing. Lou, any surprises there?
No, I thought it went as planned, right? I thought he was going to get a little boos. I thought he was going to get more cheers. It was good to see that the fans, they showed up early. They were there on time. Jimmy got a standing O for the most part. He was cheered. You know, this is a guy that took them to the finals twice in his short 5.5-year run with this group. So successful run by all accounts. So it's great to go back to your former team and get the love and admiration that you deserve. Like I said, sometimes when you have a beef with the organization, with the front office, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have a beef or you're not loved in the city. We don't know what his impact was in the community of Miami outside of that arena and the things that he was able to do as far as culture and everything that he did down in Miami. So no surprises here. I was surprised to hear a few boos, but when you have an ugly breakup with a team,
you were surprised.
That's expected. That's expected as well. But I like the cheers. I like that.
See, I'm surprised there wasn't more.
I was going to say,
boos. I feel like sports fans are crazy, right? They don't care about everything you did for them during that 5 years. They don't care about the wins and losses. They care about the breakup.
As the representative of the fans at this table, we also feel like we had a part in that. So we're going to boo if we feel like you broke up.
That's what I'm saying. And as ugly as this breakup was, I think it just left just a bad taste in their mouth and left it a bad taste for the franchise, for the city, and everything above. So I feel like I thought it was going to be actually more boos than it was, which I'm actually happy because.
You thought it was going to be more boos as well?
I thought so too.
See, I didn't think so. Again, you got 2 finals runs in 5.5 years.
Like they don't care about that right now. They care about this.
What just happened?
But that's the totality of your run, and it's only a 5.5-year run. So to get to the finals twice in 5 years, and then the breakup is in year 5, basically, like that's a great run for a guy. So it did end ugly. Don't get me wrong. Like not wanting to play in the games, it looked like his effort was off in the games that he did play in. But before that, Jimmy was the hardest working guy. He put them in a position to be successful for a long time, along with the other guys on the team.
And I think that's where the cheers came from, is this dude did give it his all during his time there. He did recreate this Heat culture thing. He did turn it on in the playoffs. They did make the finals run. They didn't win the ultimate goal of a championship, but he was a great player for them. So I love the fact that they did show love and they did give him his flowers and show respect for him. But I'm just saying, as ugly as the breakup, like Pat Riley's still there. So the fans are on his side. And like at the end of the day, he left him and went on to probably a better situation this season. And
are the fans on his side, though?
Probably.
I think you have to in a situation like this, Lou. He had to trade. He forced his hand. He had to trade. Yeah, but
I'm saying if you're a fan and you got to take a pick of which one of these guys that you like more, look at the run that Miami was on when they got rid of Jimmy Butler, opposed to when he was in uniform. The fans showed it. They stood up and they cheered. I don't know. I'm not very privy to what's going on in Miami to hear.
I mean, look, the Spurs went through this with Kawhi.
And it's not like the Dallas situation where
we
they're
booed Kawhi, some still do.
Yeah, and it's not like the Dallas situation where.
But I experienced that. That's like a fake boo.
We got yelled at by Pop for booing at one point during a game.
And again, but look back at Jimmy's time in Miami. He's never said anything negative about the city. He's never said anything really about the franchise. Yeah. It's just been directed at Pat Riley, one guy, and how things are ran. And everyone knows the stories with LeBron and his history and how Pat Riley is set in his ways. I mean, there's no change in him. So I'm sure some fans are kind of eye-rolling things he does. And like, can he adjust a little bit? Can he adapt? But at the end of the day, they still have a team there, and they're Miami Heat fans, not necessarily just Jimmy Butler fans.
No, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was a good mix. There was the video, of course. Jimmy was asked about that after the game.
Like I always say, I got a lot of love for the city, for the fan base here. The video was nice. I won't say that there was a lot of emotions, though.
Well, and look, he said before the game it was just like any other game, but then he went out and sort of laid a bit of an egg, Chandler. So I'm wondering, was it really just like any other game?
Well, I just feel like he's belittling it a little bit.
Okay.
Like there was no extra emotions. Like stop. Like everything that's been made public to the media, and we probably don't even understand or know half of the other stuff that went on between him and the front office and Pat. So this was not just another game. And by the way, it wasn't just another game for the Miami Heat team either. Like
clearly,
as much pressure as there was on Jimmy Butler and the expectations of his comeback. This was a big game for Bam. This is a big game for Tyler Hero to prove that, look, we are going to be okay. This is our team now, and there's no question about it.
They haven't been okay.
And no, they haven't. And again, there's going to be an adjustment period, but this was a big game for them. Clearly, I didn't think they were going to run him out the gym like this. There's no way.
This breakup is fresh as well too. Like
Very.
This hasn't been a long time, so him saying that there's not a lot of emotion is still fresh. You know, like you don't have a chance to kind of move on. Like Miami's not healed, Jimmy's not healed. It's still some awkward feelings, some awkward vibes in that mix right there. So I get it. When you go back so early, before you really have an opportunity to kind of digest everything that's happened, you can still kind of feel like I'm cool on y'all. I'm good.
Just not there yet.
Yeah,
not ready
just
to
not
talk
But there's
about
definitely
it.
some feelings and emotion.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, he left the game right after, didn't shake anybody's hands, which, normally we're used to seeing hugs and all the stuff that comes along with it.
That's why we shouldn't have an expectation.
But I'm just saying, so does that tell you
This
that maybe
is a little
it's not
different, Lou, because there's been no issues with him and the team, right?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't he show love to Tyler and Bam and those guys after the game?
Because we probably went to dinner last night. Who knows? Like I don't have
It's
to.
also true.
I don't have to ham it up for the cameras or do
fair.
what's.
Yeah,
what's
we're just
expected.
guessing, looking.
Yeah,
what's
we're
happening.
This is what we do.
We're just saying one thing. Like after the game, who knows how long they were in the back of the hallway having a laugh, catching up with each other. Who knows? But the optics are going to be the optics. And Jimmy is strategic. Jimmy plays the petty games. He knows that the next morning everything is going to be discussed and going to be dissected. But I don't read much into this because again, when you come back to a city like this and you have real relationships with guys that you played against, 9 times out of 10 you spoke pregame, you kicked it for a second pregame, or you went to dinner the night before, or this can be a real thing where I just don't rock with y'all. I'm cool.
Like, I'm done.
It could be both.
You're dead to me.
It could be either. I mean.
Also,
And again, I think over time this will just get better. I guarantee. We'll see, like they might hang out in the summer, like Lou's saying. We don't know everything. We just see what the camera showed during the game.
Right.
And by the way, they also just got blown out. So
And
he
there's
probably
that.
wasn't going to stick around and act like everything's fine. He's probably pissed off about the game itself, which is the most important thing.
I mean, if you are the Heat players, though, you've got to be like, that was fun. I mean, you've been on such a losing streak for a while now, Chandler. To get this win in this way has got to be something.
And like we said, since this trade, it's been a disaster for them. And
Absolutely.
they're kind of looking like they're going in tank mode, but they still have their core. They still have.
They said we're gonna win this one.
Yeah,
though.
they still have.
We
Tyler
lose
Hero.
everything but this one.
That was
win
their
this one, though.
Super Bowl last night. They had stuff to prove, and everybody stepped up. Look across the board. Bam had a great game with 27. Hero had 20. Alec Burks, Andrew Wiggins coming off a good game where he had 40-something the other night. So listen, they had something to prove. And as much, like I said, as much as Jimmy wanted to probably play well in his return,
Ooh, yeah.
by the way, it didn't even really seem like he cared. It wasn't that aggressive. He didn't, what I mean? So
I know, but we thought he was going to have
And I am gonna discount it. Steph Curry did not play. That is a big asterisk when it comes to this
Sure.
game. Steph didn't play in this game, and that takes away a lot of the identity of the Golden State Warriors when he's out of the lineup. So Jimmy had a game like Jimmy's been having for the Golden State Warriors.
But he can't if Steph's not there.
Yeah, still did all the dirty work, still played hard. Like he's not gonna be a big scoring punch. I didn't expect Jimmy to go out there and go get a 30 ball. I expected him to have the type of stat line that he did have. But when you have Steph Curry next to you, this outcome will look completely different. So discount that win a little bit because of Steph Curry not being in the lineup. But again, when you're on a losing streak like the Miami Heat were, if we're not gonna win any game at all, we're gonna win this one.
which is great
the
because I still thought the Warriors were going to win the game.
Yeah.
I did too.
I still thought.
And I did think Jimmy was going to have like.
Yeah, I thought he was
crazy
going to at least
night.
have 25. I thought he was going to be super aggressive.
Yeah, the over-under was
get
like
to the
21.
free throw line, like I thought for sure. Which again, maybe he really just looks at this like another game, and he wasn't putting that much thought or pressure into it.
We know how he's being sued by the people he was renting the house from because he left it in a mess, allegedly. Maybe he was cleaning up really, really late the night before, and he just couldn't get there.
Yeah, that's probably what he was
bet
doing
that's
on
what
his
it was.
one night in Miami.
I got you, Jimmy. I know what's up. There is a moment in this one. Bam accidentally elbows Draymond Green.